there's almost this belief that, had the British not come here, everything would have been great. That there would have been this idyllic life for the inhabitants, if only, for the British. But as Nigel pointed out, it was inevitable that Australia would be colonised. I mean, this is one thing that humans do. In fact, there are books written on it. We travel, we walk, we explore. It's something that makes us human. We want to know what is beyond the frontier, and then we want to know what is beyond that. It was absolutely inevitable that Australia was going to be colonised at some point. And it also should be said that at every point, John Hubert Plunkett, a great man, was one of many men and women who had a genuine sympathy for the Aborigines. Many of them were missionaries. Many of them were ministers of religion. There were governors, other sort of colonial elites, and they knew that the Aborigines had got a raw deal. They knew, they saw the problems that had been unleashed. They saw what alcohol had done with them. They knew that smallpox, that pneumonia, that other diseases had absolutely eviscerated the Aboriginal population. In the late, I can't remember the exact year, it might have been 1797, but probably round about 1/3 or 1/2 of the Aborigines in Sydney died of smallpox. So they knew what they had brought, quite unintentionally, and they felt for the Aboriginal people, and they thought, well, what is the best thing that we can do for them? And there were certain things that they tried to do, and so missionaries tried to protect them from the worst elements of both Indigenous and white society by starting missionary reserves where white people were generally kept out so they couldn't exploit the Aborigines or give them alcohol. And it also stopped other tribes from coming in and waging war on them because, as we've said, there were many first-hand testimonies that you can find in documents and books written in the 19th century of tribal conflicts so furious that whole tribes are nearly wiped out. Mm. It's an interesting thing. It's nowadays trendy to call Aboriginal people First Nations people. Well, if we are actually to consider each tribe a nation, then by definition, when one tribe nearly wipes out another tribe, that is genocide. When one tribe takes over the land of another tribe, which is what happened to the Southern Arrente people in 1875 in Western Australia. They lost their land and they were slaughtered. That's colonialism. That is genocide. And so there were measures to try to do what we could to make it up to them. And that meant educating Aborigines who were willing to be educated. It also meant trying to teach trades, try to teach them farming so they could take advantage of sort of Western civilization. It took a long time for it to happen, but that did eventually over time succeed.